adventuring in the lands of Toivoa. And the avatars are a little messed up here, but we'll fix those. Let me get them fixed up real quick here. Because I'm glad Eowyn was able to make it today. Hope you're feeling better. I know you were ill for a couple of weeks, and I'm glad to see you.
We missed you.
And Kiki's avatar needs to be fixed as well. All right. So, we are. You guys are out here. For some reason, my audio cut out. One sec. Audio. There we go. All right. So you are down here in Australia. You came here looking for your associate, Bloodsword. Not sure why he got kidnapped. After all, there was a silent spell cast when the dragon was monologuing. However, he was stolen and he was stolen, kidnapped, and you tracked him down to the dragon's lair. Once you decided to try to enter the dragon's lair, you found that it was a bit of a challenge beyond you, and you have gone south in a tactical withdrawal in order to become more powerful and gain more information about the situation. Along the way into the Australian lava fields, you found that you were dealing with a rift between the planes. The Fey realms have been invading and causing havoc across Australia. Last week, you exited the lava fields and made your way into a ravine where you found an alcove that turned out to be the Australian headquarters for the Longstriders Consortium. You met up with a individual by the name of Urian Danon and have been welcomed here because of your Longstriders Consortium badges. That's where we pick up as Urian has gone out for the day and left you here. The question is, as you are in this cave, having gotten your rest, what would you like to do?
Well, it looks like Urian's going to be out for the day. What would we like to do?
Got one job on this ship.
Well, as I recall, we were left all kind of sitting and enjoying the water in the spring. So I think maybe we should just get out and dry off first.
We might be a little wrinkly. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and get started with the prestidigitation. I might be a minute.
Sure.
What do you mean by wrinkly?
Not all of us are accustomed to water for long periods of time.
They have been pruned, which means something different to the Tuesday group.
I want to know.
If you want to know, go watch this past Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about it.
I have a question for you.
Hopefully I have an answer you like.
So, we've already been able to use a chest at least once to send stuff back to the consortium. Can you do that again?
Maybe? I don't know. Urgle, you here, dude?
What do you want? As he's currently off to the side ogling all of these water bathers.
As she, is, You know my patron pretty well. Is
Of
there a
course.
way? Can we? How many times can we do that chest back and forth thing to sell and buy stuff?
Not often, but why?
Well, I do know that we have a surplus of things that we need to get rid of,
It's
and a
not like
surplus of
it's a
things.
shopping basket, you know.
I know, but right now there's nobody to sell to, and we're kind of running out of room.
You know, you don't have to be such bad kleptos.
Sorry, it's a problem.
You know what they call those if you have a house, right? It's called a hoarder. Sounds like he's got a problem.
He hoards pets.
I think he hoards more than just pets. Look at that bag.
That's kind of fair. Very true. I agree with Kiki.
Definitely.
Well, begrudgingly, I will get out of the teeny tiny stream, making sure that I am clean and all the things, and get dressed once Twilight is done with prestidigitation. And when I pick up my armor and I look at him like prestidigitation, and I kind of cock my eyebrow at him, like, "Come on now, come on! I can't go without this. I know you think I can, but please."
Are you waving a
The re-
handkerchief at him?
The reason I asked is, well, we were asked to acquire a mall egg.
I have one.
No, I've got the mall egg.
Okay.
But we needed to get it back to Samara.
Where's Samara? Is oh, yeah, yeah.
And it'd just be one less thing to go ahead and take care of.
I don't know if we can. I mean, I can try. I can ask. But we can't do this like all the time.
All I did was that.
All right.
And
Well,
for the record, I unloaded all my stuff on our host here. My bags are empty, thank you very much.
Selecto. That being said,
Well, kind of empty. I still have this long sword. I still have this silver long sword. I have a couple other things, but that's beside the point.
That's
Are
right.
you
You
going?
traded off all those hides, right?
I did.
Yeah.
for his cloak of the bat, right?
No, I made the cloak of the fire bat.
Okay. So I don't remember what we got. What did we get for that?
Well, I gave Ayla the headband of intellect.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
I still have this potion of speed, and I still have this fantastic pineapple-looking thing of an adult dragon breath hand grenade, as well as this green candle.
The green candle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Those are for like emergency Shiza situations.
So,
We get in those a lot.
But I mean, like Shiza.
We've been in that too.
Okay, more Shizas. I mean, like, I don't know. Use that before we go see a big ass dragon. I mean,
it's a very effective device. But how much longer are we going to hold out here?
well, I do need to talk to my patron, so y'all don't mind just giving me a few minutes? So, she looks at everybody for approval. Does everybody approve? Awesome.
Yeah, we're good.
Go for
Awesome. And
Proof
she
is a
steps.
strong word. But yeah.
Do you acquiesce?
Yeah, as long as covered her privacy.
Thank you.
As long as we talk about what you intend to pursue in the future.
Of course. Of course. That said, she comes over. She finds a private spot and sits down, and she proceeds to contact Leslie.
Okay. Awesome. So, as you reach out, you feel the presence of Leslie enter your mind. Hello. How are you doing?
Doing okay. Not so charred anymore.
Oh.
Found the we found the Longstriders consortium to the west. In Australia.
Oh.
East.
He's still alive?
He is, and he's running it, and nice, safe place for us to be.
That's excellent news. I didn't think he'd make it.
Well, he made it, but he doesn't believe anything that we went through. So it's been a thing. He's like, nobody
We
can
could
survive the
call-
lava fields.
Let's call Urian a skeptic.
That's putting it nicely.
I know. Let's adjust that to disbeliever.
It's better. So,
Yeah.
do you, we have a thing here that needs to be delivered to, Samara. It's a mall egg. She asked for that.
Oh.
Yes.
Deal with Samara. That's delightful. I could probably deliver that.
Okay.
After all, you wouldn't want such a fragile, delicate thing to be jostled and cracked.
Agreed. So, if you could have that, that chest delivered, that would be fantastic. So we can.
The speed courier. Of course, dear. I can't do it often, but I can do that today.
Awesome. And thank you. And I know that we can't do that very often. This is just one of those things we don't want it to break.
You see her hand reach out of the vision area, and you see her move her hand to the side. It'll be on its way in a moment.
I appreciate it.
Roll an insight check, please. The insight check says 9. Thank you.
Shayna.
Shayza.
It's the first roll of the day. All right, yay.
That's 3 points higher than what you were rolling last week.
She trusts our patron explicitly.
100%. Sure. What could go wrong? Sure. Okay. So, when she sees that the courier arrives, she'll make sure that she puts the maw egg in the chest.
The chest arrives next to you.
At that point, she kind of waves over Twilight and just points at the chest.
And Twilight will put the mall egg for Samara inside the chest and then walk away because he doesn't want anything to do with what's going on with Covet and her patron.
So, with that being said, she closes it and she makes sure that it is going towards that it goes towards Leslie as well. Then she asks, "Did you get any information from Drake?"
Well, a bit, yes. I was communing with her just now, actually.
Communing? Okay, that's got some interesting words.
Well, you understand, I don't just interrogate. Spirits are more willing when you appreciate them and get on their side a little, just enough to let them open up, you understand.
Uh-huh. So, what did you find out?
Well, she wasn't working alone, of course.
Yes.
It's not powerful enough for that. But she told me that one of the shards of the staff is located not far from you, actually. In a lake, she said, at the top of a tower. She said that she had imprisoned some spirit there by the name of Shalone.
Lovely.
And the
Perfect.
shard is in the same room with the Australian spirit of motion. So you might want to be very careful because she said that ever since Shalon's been captured, the forces of motion in Australia have been a little bit, what was her word? Wonky. I believe her to mean that the winds are unpredictable, water flows in odd directions and ways, and lava, apparently, was allowed to flow across the plains.
Yes, I know that for a fact. We found the portal where it's coming from.
So until you free Shalone, be very careful with any natural thing that might move. I would be especially cautious with winds. Don't go on any high places. And if you choose to go across the water towards this tower, be ready for unpredictability in navigation.
Um, okay. Did she say anything specifically about freeing Shalom? How?
Oh, she didn't say how. After all, they do still have Will, and Drake Crystal Glow, well, very willful. She reminded me a lot of you. But
Okay.
you understand that I can be persuasive. She said that there are 3 locks at the bottom of the tower that will need to be unlocked in order to gain access to the tower itself. A puzzle of some kind. She only told me that the solution for one of them was blue.
Okay. Are they fireproof? I'm just asking, just for the heck of it. You never know.
I'm not sure. You'll have to experiment yourself when you're there, But I'd be
Of course.
surprised if they weren't. After all, she was very proud of her phoenix mount, and if a phoenix was present, they'd be at least fire resistant.
Oh, I'm aware. Hot seat, hot seat Twilight over here tried. It didn't work out too well.
Oh?
Oh yeah, he tried. Named
He
it and everything,
tried.
Phoebe.
He named the phoenix Phoebe?
Oh
Did
yeah, let me tell you, it was
he
a
take
thing.
his did he take his hot seat, as you call it, and place it upon the phoenix?
It became extra hot.
Oh, well, you understand that when you say that, you're obviously tempting a woman to take a look the next time.
Look, but don't touch. That one's mine. That's all I gotta say.
Oh,
Um,
I don't touch.
that being said, so did she say anything about Rafinas?
She said that Rafinas was powerful and manipulating her in her own knowledge. Rafinas is one that I'm familiar with, though.
Oh,
She's very influential as a bard. She's an excellent performer, and they say that she has the ability to have 1,000 faces.
a changeling then.
Perhaps. I'm not certain of that, though. She could simply be a master of disguise.
Was was there a location of where Rafinas was last seen?
Well, Drake Crystaglow last saw her in the throne room of Queen Titania of the Fae. However, that was over a year ago, so the location's not really reliable, you understand?
Of course. That's not good. All right. Um, as of right now, that's all I can think of. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. Um, just because I know somebody's gonna ask me, how does one, tame a phoenix?
Tame it? I'm not sure you can. It's more of a mutual negotiation. You understand, I've never done such a terribly bad idea. But I would assume that Drake Crystaglow got to form a relationship with the Phoenix. It's not a fast process, I'm sure. After all, just like any wild animal, it takes time to train them to trust you and ensure that they believe you're not going to harm them. And eventually, such a creature allows you to ride them and mount them at will. You understand. After all, you have a husband.
Facts. So, I mean, seriously, we've been married for so long. I mean, do you know how hard it is to train a new one? Oh my gosh.
I don't. I tend to shy away from romantic interests. I did it once and found it pleasant for the time being, but the needs were a little bit more than I could handle, and so he and I are still co workers, but not in a romantic way. We respect each other and give each other space.
That's a hard thing to do, working with your...
No, after all, you understand when you have a daughter, there's a requirement that you at least be civil to each other.
That's true. That is very true.
So,
All right, well, I think I've asked all the questions that I need, and thank you for all your help. I really appreciate it. I do have one more question though.
of course.
Do you commune with the spirits like I do with Speak with the Dead, or is this something entirely different?
It's similar, but it's more personal.
That's not vague at all.
Some things, Covet, you must understand. I have to protect you from until you're ready. We wouldn't want anyone that you commune with to take over because your husband would disapprove and would come after me.
Yeah, you're
So,
not wrong.
we need you to become more powerful, and we're working on it. You just need to be a little patient, and then when you're ready, I'll teach you how to commune with the spirits on a more intimate level. So, I hope that answers it. But
Yeah.
understand that they're not gone. Speak with Dead allows you to only ask 5 questions. Communing is more of a, how should I say, more complete understanding as opposed to limited in questions.
Interesting.
You'll find out.
Um,
I'm sure of it. After all, I wouldn't want anything to happen to you. It'd reflect badly on me. So please, be careful.
um, of course. Any suggestions, guidance before I head on out?
Be careful. Take care of the people around you, not because you have to, but because they can be useful in achieving your means. They're a means to an end. So, don't dispose of them unless absolutely necessary.
Understood.
So, have a wonderful day. I'll make sure this lovely mall egg makes it to Samara.
You're welcome.
Have a good day. She pets the surface of the egg.
Bye.
And you, while you are watching, you can see a small trail of black energy rub down the shell of the egg as the apparition fades. But only you saw this, no one else.
That's not ominous.
What, everything okay?
Yeah. Just a big ass tower we have to go fight. Well, get into?
We were already planning on going to the lighthouse. Is that the tower?
Probably is. It's in the middle of that lake that we're heading towards. Shalone was imprisoned there by Crystal Glow.
Of course she was.
And apparently there's 3 locks. It's kind of a puzzle. And the answer to one of those locks is blue. And I don't know whether it's the color or blow or past tense.
We can try both.
Eowyn
This is how we break
says that they're
Kiki.
going to melt the lock.
If they're not fire resistant or fireproof, that's a possibility.
Probably are though, because
More than likely,
Drake.
Drake would think of that.
Yeah. And she was also her affinity was fire. But she's powerful, but not as powerful as she said she was.
Yeah, but I understand that you're new in this situation that you find yourself in. Situationship, I guess you could call it, with your patron.
We just call it a ship at the moment. We don't know what this is. This is just a ship.
But, what's your end state with this? I mean, you've heard my concerns. You've seen the similarities.
To get back home and to have Shantara Grove in its former natural state.
Which is what I desire, but I don't know that all sacrifices are valid.
And that's where my choice and my will come in. I'm making choices, but just like you guys make every day, and each one has a consequence. And I'm trying to make the right choice, but you can't always see the consequences immediately.
So what happens when Leslie and MKL conflict?
We'll see when I get there, as she stomps on his foot.
I'm just concerned.
I understand that. All I know is that I just want Shantara Grove to be back to its natural state, prior darkness. I want to go home. I don't want to have to constantly be in service anymore. I just want to go home. That's all I want. With you. That's it.
Just know that I don't want to lose you in the process.
And I'm trying very hard not to get lost.
Okay.
I just know that getting home, helping our friends here achieve their end states, and just being happy is, all that I want, but we'll see.
So is she a means to an end?
Yes. And no. Yes, because she's right now the best way for me to get home. And no, because I'm learning a lot more from her than I have in years.
Just know that I'm concerned, and I don't want to lose you in the process.
Well, I do have some good news.
Good news is good.
Wow.
Or at least that's what's implied with good news being labeled good.
If you want to have a phoenix as a pet,
You mean Phoebe?
you have to build a relationship with it.
But that's so much work.
It's worth it.
I'll think about it.
That being said, Rafinus was also manipulating Drake Crystal Glow.
I thought Drake was manipulating Rafinus.
No, it's the other way around.
Didn't Drake say that she was training with Venus?
No, it's the other way around.
Oh, the back and forth. Why is Masaba want with Chantara?
It's too much, and we need to get rid of all of that. And we need to close that portal. We need to deal with all that. But and more good news is that I know where one of the shards are.
That's good news.
Bad news. It's in the same room that's where the imprisoned Shalone is.
Which we are already on our way.
Yeah, we've got to get through the puzzle, get to the top of the tower, somehow release Shalone. But she's also the spirit of movement, so like anything that moves, we've got to be extra careful around, particularly like water and wind. Wind is bad. So we have to be really, 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 really careful.
So wind is bad or breaking wind is bad?
Yes. So we just have to be really, 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 really careful. It's not good. It's not good. But at least we know where a shard is, and we need to head towards that direction directly.
We've been saying these things in auditory range of the rest of the party.
I know that. I wasn't hiding anything.
Okay. What does Kiki think of the situation?
I mean, I think that he's. So I'm a little worried about Covet, to be honest. Like, if you just want to know what's going on in my head, because it seems like she might be getting a little too close to a very scary patron. But I think that we're also very close to being able to solve the puzzle. So, I don't know. Maybe it's worth it.
I'm thinking we're going to have to watch real close and kind of maybe protect Covet from herself sometime. Because I don't know how much power Leslie can exert from a distance through her.
I don't know. As of right now, I'm able to make my own choices. So it's just, again, just like I was telling Twilight, it's making the right choice. I can't always see the consequence. Just like you guys can't always see the immediate consequences of your actions. So I try to play what could happen in my head, but it doesn't always mean that's right.
Yes, I believe that you're doing the best that you can. But I think Ayla has a good point. I think we got to watch out for you.
Maybe that's why everybody in Nalsha kept saying, "Be careful. Everybody watch out for Covet." Maybe that's why. Who knows?
Well, just understand that we're watching out for you. So if we make a suggestion, please consider it.
Always do.
Okay, I'm good with that.
What's this Lauren's feeling on the situation? Lauren's been real quiet. So is Eowyn. Oh, Eowyn agrees with Ayla.
Lauren is observing this conversation silently.
Okay.
Twilight didn't realize that he wasn't being discreet.
It's kind of hard to miss when Covet turns around and stomps on the middle of your instep.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate not getting the bird, Awen. I appreciate that very much. I don't know how Kiki would feel about that, considering, but
I don't know that
Giving you the bird.
a firebird might be fun. I don't know.
Phoebe would be very fun. I mean, the small time that I was able to mount and ride the Phoenix was amazing, Phoebe. You should you should have tried it.
that gave a whole new meaning to Pantalones del Fuego.
Yep.
It was a little hot. I mean, the heat was intense, but it was worth the ride.
Do you have enough dragon hide to make yourself a pair of pantalones?
Not anymore. That went to our lovely host with the items that we received.
Just be careful with this, Kiki. I don't like the smell of burnt feathers.
I don't think I'd like that either.
Are you interested in riding the Phoenix?
I mean, I get along with birds. I mean, that's sort of my nature.
Are you all of the same feather?
Sometimes we flock together.
Boo.
Thank you for hitting that one out of the park.
All right. So, you guys are refreshed. You've had your chat with Leslie. What's next for your day?
I think we got to head to the tower, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I just gotta make
Yeah.
sure that big dragon's not out there. And no talking to the dragon.
Can I tame the dragon?
None. Shiza.
Side.
You choose to attempt to do so, I would simply ask that you do so far out of sight from anyone who does not wish to be eaten.
Agreed.
Yeah, he didn't hear that. Miss Lauren said that if you choose to go after the dragon, do it out of sight from anyone who chooses not to be eaten.
But then how would y'all witness my greatness?
Live.
We'd be dead, so we
I get
still
to
wouldn't
attack
see
and
it live.
understand the tale and the legend thereafter.
Well, at least I know where I need to place silence.
Where would that be?
Over his mouth.
Oh.
That was rude. We will talk about this one later.
All right. So, you ready to depart?
Yep.
All right.
I fill up the water skin from the fresh side of the spring where nobody was sitting.
I'll do the same.
Okay. You get fresh spring water in your water skins.
Yay.
It's not that jug water from Ayla. It's fresh spring water.
Jug water's good too.
I'm not sure. Have you ever drank water that's been in a jug for a long time?
Yeah,
Yes.
don't do it.
If it's that or go of thirst in the middle of a lava pit, you
Yeah.
drink the jug water.
As we can give willies to people across the world. So, as you guys depart, the wind is starting to pick up. and it's blowing pretty strong. Can I
Yeah.
get athletics checks from each of you?
Athletics checks?
Yes.
And there you see,
This can't be good.
Covet roll along the ground like a tumbleweed.
You each have a hard time moving forward. It's not easy to get out of the cave, much less go down the ravine. Covet and Twilight are moving at half speed as they move forward. It's hard going. But eventually you'll come to a section of the ravine that gets much narrower. A perfect spot for an ambush. And you'll find yourselves at the top center of this map.
You know, guys, this looks like a perfect spot for an ambush.
Dun dun dun.
My thoughts exactly.
Oh, you have theme music going in your head too? Wow.
Should we move stealthily through this area? And I will attempt to get into the shadows.
I'm on a roll today. Oh my god. Dice
Quite
jail.
All right. So, as you guys are moving forward, you will hear the roar of that dragon. We're going to go ahead and open up the turn order for you. And I need each of you to please target your tokens. And let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Of course you do. Of course you do. What the heck?
Wow.
It will eventually get a high roll.
Oh my god.
Wow. Hit the right thing.
For some reason,
Hey.
I didn't.
Let me do that again.
Aowen's didn't send. Aowen got 21.
All good. I'm fixing it.
5 even.
Eamon got a 21. And
Which becomes 25.
25. Wow. Gets +4 to it now?
Proficiency bonus went up.
Okay, awesome. Ayla got a 30.
I disappeared from the turn order. I don't know what happened.
Well,
Yeah,
your little bird got deleted apparently. So let me go ahead and grab your little bird because he got deleted off the screen.
Yeah, he did.
Well, that also would be a problem.
Iki, you're so stealthy that you no longer exist on the map.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so
There's somebody put the lights back on. That's nice.
yeah.
I rolled a
Wait a minute.
24, but I'm next to Islarin, so I think that's a 28.
It is. All right, so Covet has a 7, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. So
That's
body
with the
edition.
+4. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, that is with the +4.
That makes me so sad. I mean, really? Dang. This is like
Wow.
the dice gods have it in for me.
Indeed. So, you hear the dragon coming. What would you like to do, Ayla Taylor?
Okay, I'm going to sit right here, but I am going to, let's see. Where is it? I'm going to cast my spirit guardians.
Okay. So Spirit Guardians is going to go up.
And then I'm going to prepare, where is it? I'm going to prepare a sacred flame.
Very well.
We'll just wait for him to get here.
Sure. All right. After Ayla Taylor, we go to Kiki.
Kiki is gonna activate his boots of speed, and then he's gonna move over to here because he doesn't see the dragon.
Oh,
But
when
doesn't
you come
think
up over
being
the edge of the ravine, you can see the dragon. The dragon is down there.
oh, interesting. All right. Yeah, I just don't think it's a good idea for us to be too clumped up. You know, dragons and their breath and all.
Mhm.
So I might move a little bit farther here. And he's going to take the dodge action.
Okay. All right. So we go to Eowyn. What would you like to do, Eowyn?
I'll move.
You're gonna move?
Here.
Okay. Where are you gonna
Trying
move?
to. Oh,
Okay. So from where you were, you can move all the way up to this line here.
I moved there instead then.
Okay. Cool. Anything else?
He said to dragon, right?
To try again?
Nope, he said to dragon, right?
It's a dragon, yes. A dragon is coming.
I would have pointed out to everybody where the if I'm the only one that can see him because I flew up, then I would have pointed him out to everybody.
Okay. Yep. The dragon is down here at the southeastern corner.
I saw that I had this dragon snare longsword in my actions.
Yes.
I was wondering if I can prepare that.
You want to prepare to swing with the Dragon Slayer longsword. Okay?
It seems like
Awesome.
the best option.
It probably is. It then becomes my turn. The dragon is going to move, and the dragon can fly 80 feet. And so it's going to fly 80 feet to here, at which point it will then start its attack run by going down the gully towards you guys. As it does so, it sees you. And it's going to start by using its breath weapon of lightning, which is a 60-foot line that is 5 feet wide. 60-foot line from the dragon. 60-foot line will not reach, but lightning crackles outwards, and no one needs to make the saving throw. We then go to Islarin. What would you like to do, Islarin?
Right. I would like to move, and you were close to it on this. 25, 30, Should have cast Bless before I moved. For that now, let me just see who's within 30 feet of me. Okay, so it's just okay. There's 4 of us. Okay, so I will cast. I will ask Sapporo to steady our weapons and sharpen our minds, and I will cast Bless on myself, Eowyn, Ayla, and Kiki.
Very well. Cool. Everyone gets blessed except for Twilight and Covet. Anything else is Lauren?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that's the only thing.
All right. After Islaren, we go to Twilight's Call.
You know, I think the dragon is moving just a little fast, and I'm not sure that we really want him to perform that well. So I am going to put poor performance on the dragon and cast slow.
Very well. My wisdom saving throw against the slow will be a 21, as I have magic resistance.
Damn. Okay. About that one.
All right. Any movement or bonus actions you'd like to use?
I will continue to be in the shadows, but I will move to there.
Okay. Miss Von Sin.
Okay. You're on. Oh, Justin. All right. So she steps forward. And goes ahead and starts with Eldritch Blast.
Very well. The 18 hits it, just barely nicking the dragon, dealing 11 force damage to the monstrosity. For some reason, my board is not sending the information. One moment. Something is wrong. My keyboard is not functioning.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Try that one more time here. Oh, my keyboard has stopped functioning. All right. I will go ahead and subtract the 19 hit points off. Okay. Let's see here. Good way to do this. I cannot edit the health bar at the moment, but he has suffered 19 damage.
And for I'm going to prepare the empowered hex on this thing. No, it's 30 feet, isn't it? Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Alright. Cool. Right. And turn. I'm gonna come over here. Behind the rock. And turn.
Alright. After Covet Von Sin, we go to Ayla Taylor. What would you like to do, Ayla?
I'm gonna move up just a little closer.
Okay.
and then cast Guiding Bolt on Eel Dragon.
Okay. And your guiding bolt sails high into the air. Unfortunately, you've missed with the guiding bolt. All right.
Wait. Try adding bless. You might be able to hit.
There's a chance with bless. Yeah. So let's roll a d4, please. One d4, please.
Yeah, slash in front of you.
Gotta roll the
That's the
slash.
idea. We should probably. It's good to have the instruction written out, though, just in case.
Okay. So unfortunately, that did miss. All right. So after Ayla, we're gonna go to Kiki. What would you like to do, Kiki?
Kiki is gonna fly really fast. Like a bird out of hell. And use one key point for Step of the Wind
Okay.
to get all the way down to here. And he's gonna attack.
Okay. And with the 22, you will strike it for 9 damage.
And I'm going to use a key point to try to stun the guy.
All right. Go ahead and mark that down. And so, the Constitution saving throw against that will be a 26.
26 is higher than 16. So
Yeah, it is.
we're going to try it again.
Okay. A 24 will hit, dealing 8 damage to him. Okay. So he's taking 36 damage.
That a
And
did you
try
point
to
one?
You gonna try to stun him once again?
Yes, please.
All right. The Constitution saving throw is a 22.
Wow.
All right. Well, Kiki is going to figure out that this is not a good place to hang out and is going to run over to here. Yeah.
All right. Cool. After Kiki, we go to Eowyn. What would Eowyn like to do, as the dragon is still flying and not at ground level?
Sorry. Just my sister again.
Okay. So what would you like to do?
Still flying, I'm not sure what to do. Would guiding bolt work on it?
You could reach it with Guiding Bolt, yes.
I'll
I
try
have
that
corrected
then.
the keyboard. guiding bolt sails upwards. As the radiant energy flies from Eowyn's hands, it splashes into the dragon, dealing 18 radiant damage to the bronze surface. A section of
Hey.
it glows with radiant heat. Excellent. Did you want to move or anything?
No.
Okay. It then becomes the dragon's turn. The dragon is going to try to recharge its breath weapon, which gets back on a 5 or a 6. As it recharges its lightning breath, the dragon is going to... Ooh. The dragon's going to ignore the little monk, because I can hit multiple people with my lightning breath. And so the dragon will fly, and as it does fly by, it's going to get to here, up in the air, and it will then breathe lightning outwards as it passes, and it's going to breathe lightning in this line, which will cause Islarin, Covet, Eowyn, and Ayla to all need to roll their dexterity saving throws of a DC 15 or suffer 71 lightning damage. Islarin saves, Ayla saves, Covet saves. Does Eowyn save against the lightning breath? Dexterity saving throw, please. Yep. Eowyn will get the bonus from the protection aura, which allows Eowyn to succeed. So each of you will only take 35 lightning damage from this breath.
Only 35.
Only 35.
And I need to make a DC 17 con save to keep bless.
Yes, please.
Just being slow to roll.
What's fun is you can actually add your bless to it. So you're fine.
Yeah.
All right. The dragon is not within 10 feet of you, Islarin, so it cannot use its tail attack or bite. So we will then go to Islarin. Islarin, the dragon is a good 30 feet in the air. What would you like to do?
Okay, I think I have a couple of options. So, question. What would it take to climb like the side of the ravine here to get up there with it?
It's an athletics check, and the DC on climbing the ravine wall is a 16. It's also difficult terrain, so you'll be moving at half speed.
Okay, and it's also like you said, it's the ravine's like 30 feet on its own.
Correct.
Okay, so I just need basically to dash and take my full movement to get up there. Okay, so that will be difficult, but okay, then the other question I have, so the ground dweller's shield, when when it says a full action, does that mean just using my action, or is that like a full round?
That is your everything you do that round.
Okay. Right. In that case, with my bonus action, I will extend the blades on the shield, and yeah, I can't. So I can't do that. Can't do that and throw it this round. So I will just use my bonus action to extend the shield.
Okay. Blades pop out of the Slurn's shield.
5. And so I can be by the side of the ravine if I choose to go up that way. 30 feet up, so I need to throw a javelin instead of my trident, so I'm gonna throw one of those.
Okay. Do you drop the trident at your feet?
Strictly speaking, I haven't used it yet.
But did you have it drawn?
Yeah, probably would have. Okay, so I
Okay.
think either way, that trident's gonna be on the ground either way. So,
Okay.
well, if I have it drawn, then I might as well throw that first and then use my object interaction to get javelin and also throw that. So I'm gonna do that.
Got it. And as you're
Alright.
preparing to throw that, we're going to grant inspiration to Kiki from Vamp Orchid.
The trident is outside of normal range. This is with disadvantage. And with
And
bless.
unfortunately, your trident sails up through the air right on target. And although it's on target, it clangs off the scales of the dragon and falls. The trident is now at the top of the ravine.
Right. And I'll throw the javelin.
Okay?
That's even worse.
That one falls as it impacts the wall. Alright. Anything else, Lauren?
Alright.
Didn't the dragon get hit by a guiding bolt, or did the guiding bolt miss?
Well, disadvantage
hit.
and advantage means that it got a 15. And so the total with bless is a 17.
Alright.
Yeah. It was not just the disadvantage, it was both advantage and disadvantage because of the guiding bolt. So whatever the first number was.
Okay.
Alright. Alright.
Okay.
That is all I can. Oh, let's see. I can move. I don't think I want to. Oh, yeah, I think I want to move. A little bit more. It's 15. And 25. I'll just be right underneath it. That's all I can do.
Alright. After Islarian, we go to Twilight's Call.
Alright, so Twilight's going to try something that he really hasn't done in a while. First, he's going to use the Blessing of MKL, and is going to jump to here.
Okay. Up to 30 feet, so you're up at the top of the cliff, up on top. Correct.
Yes. And he's going to throw a net on the dragon.
You're going to throw a net on the dragon.
Yeah.
What'd
Okay.
she do to you?
This George the Fourth.
The net. All right, let's take a look at net. So as the net gets thrown onto the dragon, how much damage did you deal with your net?
Net doesn't do any damage.
That does no damage. Awesome.
Just gets him tangled up.
So, a net has no effect on creatures that are formless or creatures that are huge or larger.
Oh, really?
You need a really big net.
It's just wearing it like a little bit of a shawl.
Yep. As the net is draped over the dragon, it will fall free on its turn.
Like,
oh god.
damn it.
That would have been really
Read
cool.
the small print.
Gotta read the fine print.
Yeah, like I said, unfamiliar, hadn't used it before, thought it'd be cool, and it fell flat.
Yeah,
Good idea.
very interesting. Cool. All right.
I guess I'll shoot it.
Okay. And you will strike it, dealing 22 piercing damage as your arrow flies true.
Well, at least I can see the soft underbelly while it's up in the air.
Okay. Well, speaking of soft underbellies, Covet.
Oh, you're very... Never mind.
I'm not going to get in trouble. No.
Checking something before I do anything. Is this shadowed right here?
No, you are in the middle of daylight. There are shadows there, but you can go into a shadow there. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, okay. So I will use I use my my armor as a bonus action, and I'm going
Sure.
to move. I'm going to move here to shadow first, and then use the wings, leather wings of the shadow dragon
Very well.
to come here.
Cool.
And with that, that's my bonus action. So I wanted to I'm going to show it, display. Then I'm going to let me go to my spells. I'm gonna cast Burning Hands on this thing.
All right. Cool. So you do Burning Hands. That's a dexterity saving throw for the dragon. The dragon fails its dexterity saving throw and will suffer 11 fire damage as the flames erupt from your hands and wash all across the soft underbelly of the dragon.
Okay, I'm gonna ask
You should have suffered 5, not 11. I'm
to
sorry.
be fair.
Yeah.
Would it have saved because it's magical?
Yeah. Yep. So I took 5.
Okay, trying to be fair.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate that. Anything else you'd like to do? That's your bonus action and your action. You still have movement if you choose to use it.
I'm gonna get died. I am. That's all I can do because I can't take any potions or anything because that counts as a bonus action, correct?
Correct.
All right. Cool. Yay!
All right. Ayla Taylor, you're at the bottom of the ravine. What would you like to do?
I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at him because he's above
Okay.
me, and I can aim for that soft underbelly too.
Very well.
What's the dragon equivalent of bacon?
Bacon? Draken? We'll go with Draken.
Dragon sounds good.
As the guiding bolt sails up from Ayla, it impacts and causes another section of the dragon to glow with radiant light as you deal 22 radiant damage to the dragon. Awesome. Anything else, Ayla Taylor? Any more movement?
I haven't tried spiritual weapon with him yet, and I think I'm close enough.
Okay.
So let's pull out the ostrich leg.
All right.
And see if we can hit him upside the head.
Club him. Club him.
I think it bounces off.
It does bounce off, yes. All right. After Ayla Taylor, we will go to Shakik. What would you like to do, Shakik?
Let's see. I think I am gonna fly up to here. And Covet is also flying, right? So this gives me
No, she
advantage?
is currently on the ground. She teleported up to the ground level.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Nobun is
All right.
currently in melee reach of the dragon.
All right. Well, here we go.
Yeah, I'm
But you have
currently 20
advantage
feet
on
off the
this one.
ground.
On my training roll.
Yep, you have advantage. So with a 29, you will strike it, dealing 11 damage to the dragon.
And I'm gonna try to stun it again.
20 feet off the ground. All right. I got an 18.
I will barbs that one and curse it with a poor performance. Give myself the D20.
Okay, you grant yourself the D20. My Constitution saving throw is a 12. As
Yes.
the dragon falls stunned, it will suffer 8 falling damage as it falls stunned to the ground.
Well done, Kiki.
Yep, there's a
Fantastic.
small
Get out of the way.
problem, though, because when it falls on Twilight. Twilight, you are underneath its base, so you will also suffer 8 bludgeoning damage.
You're supposed to move out of the way.
Watch out for falling dragons.
I wanted to give it a hug.
Where's the watch out for falling dragons sign? There should have been one.
Imagine
Should've been.
dragons. All right. Anything else, Kiki? As you are now 20 feet away from the dragon.
I would have. Oh, let me see. I did not have any more movement left. You're right. So that I could not have hit it with a short sword. So I am going to shoot it with an arrow.
Okay. And you will hit with an arrow for 11 damage.
And I think that's it. That's going to be it.
It becomes Eowyn's turn. Eowyn, the dragon is now prone, which means any ranged attacks against it will have disadvantage. But you could do other things. What do you want to do?
Is there a way I can get up here?
Yes, it's an athletics check of a DC. Did I say 18? Yeah.
I'll
So you
go for
need
that
to
one.
climb the wall. It is not easy.
for the shot at least.
If you did your Sacred Flame, it cannot succeed because it's stunned. Okay, so you go over to try to climb the wall. Unfortunately, you're unable to climb it. It's too hard of a climb. Alright. Did you want to use your action for something?
I think I can do anything.
You can use your Sacred Flame, you can still cast a spell, etc. You're unable to climb the wall.
Guess I'll cast Sacred Flame then.
Okay. The Sacred Flame comes down from the heavens. How much damage does my dragon take, Eowyn? Suffers 11 radiant damage. Excellent. Awesome. All right. Then unless you're going to use a bonus action, it becomes the dragon's turn, which immediately ends as we go to Islaren.
I'm going to attempt climb up the ravine.
Okay.
It is
Roll your
not-
athletics check. You do not succeed.
Holy shit! It's Larry. What's up?
Winds.
Yeah. They're tough.
All right.
Right. Does that take an action to attempt?
It's your movement.
Okay. Its turn has just passed, so I'm gonna be able to. Okay, so if I'm not gonna be able to do much with weapons, I can at least attempt to command it.
Okay.
I mean, it speaks common. I will attempt to command the dragon to halt.
Okay. The dragon does not understand you.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I got nothing else then.
All right.
Islam,
Let's
do
call.
you need your application of my tongue technique?
I'm sorry?
I'm asking Lauren if she needs another application of my mastery of tongue technique.
Ah.
By the time you can apply your tongues, it perhaps be more efficient just to slay it.
Okay.
You can't see it because your face is turned this direction, but I can see it when you said that, and there was a disapproval going on.
Disapproval at the lack of tongue application or the inability to utilize the mastery of tongue?
I'm not going to comment on it.
Whatever.
Dig your grave. That's all you got to do.
Alright, since this dragon is prone at my feet, I will actually apply the application of steel.
Okay, as you cast iron.
Oh dear God.
Your blade does not pierce its hide.
Let's try this.
God.
And this time you will critically strike because it is prone. So that's going to be 15 plus 5 is 20 damage as it is pierced.
Have at thee! And I'm going to back up just a little.
Okay. All right.
And
then becomes,
I
unless you got
will
something else.
utilize my second wind.
All right. Cool. We then go to Covet von Sin.
Okay, so she is going to move to she's gonna kind of come over here
Okay.
and just making sure on measurements before I do anything. Okay, guys, it's about to get hot in here. So.
Wait, I'm not going to sing that song.
Oh yeah, you know I did it just for you. You know I did it just for you.
I'll pass.
So,
Thank you.
Just make sure again. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, we're good. All right. So she's gonna say, guys, it's gonna. She casts. Right
Oh.
here.
Okay.
Ooh.
As the fireball
Right here.
erupts over here, boom. The dragon cannot make the saving throw and will suffer 26 fire damage.
Careful where you're throwing great balls of fire.
Hey, I told you it was gonna get hot, and I made sure everybody was out of the way.
All right.
Everyone
Anything
take
else?
note.
Everyone take note. All right.
Making sure. Sorry, because that my plan had changed very, very quickly. Um. Uh. Okay, yeah, I think that's about as good as I can do right now. Guys, y'all need to wheel on this thing with like all the fire and radiant damage, all that stuff.
All right. So we then go to Ayla Taylor.
Okay, I'm gonna stay right where I am. And cast Sacred Flame.
Okay. It cannot succeed, so the radiant flame comes down. It deals how much damage? 18.
18. Yeah. For some reason, every time I do one, it's clicking twice. I don't know
You
why.
may have a second browser window open that has your character sheet on it. It's all good. Okay. Anything else, Ayla Taylor?
Yeah, I want to do. Let's see if I can beat it on the head
Okay.
with my ostrich leg.
Okay. The sword, the ostrich leg does not bludgeon it.
She's got blast.
It just makes me feel better.
Yes, but bless does not apply to the spiritual weapon.
Ah, okay.
It should. It's an attack roll.
Yes, but the spiritual weapon, is it the caster's attack roll or is it the spiritual weapon?
I think it's caster.
It's caster's attack roll.
Let me double check.
I'm almost positive.
Spiritual weapon.
It's still.
It uses
It's
your
still-
stats, but it is using its attack. So it is its own attack. It is not a blessed entity.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Oh well.
Yep.
Is it an advantage because it's prone? Or across from Kiki?
Never mind. You can make a melee attack. So yeah, you get bless. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was incorrect. So go ahead and roll your d4 and let's see if you hit it.
But shouldn't that be with advantage?
It should be with advantage, yes. And she does strike it for 13 force damage.
Can she check for?
She may, yes. If she wishes to check for a critical strike.
How would I
Just
do that?
re-attack it. Just attack it once again with the spiritual weapon.
Okay.
No. Okay. All good? After Ayla, unless Ayla wants to move, he will go to Kiki El Nazar.
All right. I'm gonna fly down, so that's 20 feet.
Yes, sir.
And then fly to here. And I am going to attack it.
Very well. Uh-oh. Yeah! Another critical strike. All right. As Kiki is hot today, you're going to deal 16 damage to it, leaving it with 15
and it needs
hit
to make
points.
another Constitution saving throw.
Very well. A Constitution saving throw will be a 16. So I did succeed.
Beats it. All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's give it a shot.
As you pierce it for an additional 8 damage.
And let's try it one more time. See if we can keep it stunned another round.
All right. Constitution saving throw is a 9. It will be once again stunned.
For another round. And then this is a key fueled attack.
Can you deal 7 damage? You
And
can.
there's 11 damage.
As you have slain the dragon, can you please describe how you would like to do this?
This is a hilarious thought in my, because there is this little bird flying around this huge dragon. I think Kiki flew straight for the throat and just slashed that last slash straight across the throat to end the life of this dragon.
And it dies.
Kiki, that was a little vicious.
That
I
was
know,
awesome.
right? I'm not normally like that. I just kind of got into it. You know, the key, it was there.
Like the waters were flowing through you or something.
That
Yeah.
was awesome, Kiki.
So, Kiki's key is key in killing the dragon.
Um,
That's
I'm interested in harvesting things off of this dragon. Does anybody want anything in particular?
Grassland is
What?
always good.
Yeah, whatever it did to make that that lightning probably would be good.
So the breath, gland, the hide, and then what else?
anything else you can find. I mean, I understand
Claws, the teeth,
that the
Claws, the
nails are good, like the claws.
claws. All right, so we want gland, hide, and claws, if we could.
Okay, let's roll for the gland, which is a DC 20 on your survival check.
With guidance.
This large retrieves your trident and javelin. You
I got DC
recover a young bronze dragon breath gland. It weighs 20 pounds.
Word. I'm glad it wasn't an old bronze dragon.
All right. I guess now for the hide.
Okay, you would like to collect some hide? Awesome. So, the survival check to gain the hide of this dragon, because it is so thick and dense, is an 18. You succeed, and can retrieve how many pounds of hide would you like to take?
Enough to make leather armor.
Okay. Cool. So one suit of armor's worth?
Yeah.
All right. So the armor, so the weight of a leather suit of armor. Let me double check here. Leather armor. We'll find the armor. All right. Leather armor weighs 10 pounds. So enough hide for one suit of armor is 10 pounds of leather. Which is a lot of leather, just saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I go after claws?
You can. The claws are about 4 feet long. And each of the claws is going to weigh in at 50 pounds.
Holy crap.
Wow.
We may want to leave those behind.
But
Yeah.
the DC for the claws is a 17. How many would you like to take?
Who wants claws? Claws for days.
I mean, unless we're going to eat it, I think we're going to have to leave it here because there's no way I can carry that.
I can't either.
I will take one claw.
All right. As you disconnect the claw from the dragon, it turns white. So you now have 1 White Claw. Thank you for
You
laughing.
shouldn't be drinking on the job.
I mean, with the stress that's involved with it, sometimes you kind of have to. Though I don't consider White Claw an actual alcoholic drink.
Fair. Fair.
Anything else you'd like to take?
Is that all we can take, or is there anything else of value actually on the dragon?
You could go for the dragon's eye. You could take the blood. You could take teeth. There's lots of things. The spleen. What are we trying for?
The dragon blood.
Dragon's blood. Okay. The DC for this is a 12. Because you've already got it bleeding. Do you have any empty vials to collect it in?
From the potions that we've consumed.
All right. How many empty vials do you have?
3.
All right. You collect 3 vials of dragon's blood. What's the worst that could happen?
I was gonna say,
I don't know,
what is
but
dragon's blood used for?
it can't be anything good. It's probably vile.
You can roll a history check, Ayla, to determine what it's used for.
Sure.
I've heard some people used to like to drink it.
With a history check of an 18, it can be used to enhance potions, it can be drunk as is, and it can be used for certain craftings in order to add instability in the weave.
Okay.
Out of character, if you apply dragon's blood to something or drink it, I get to have you roll on my 1d 10,000 wild magic surge table.
Oh, wow.
I have had a individual by the name of Silas who loved the stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Is it a temporary application, or is it a permanent application?
just the consumption, it depends on what happens.
No, I'm saying if I was to say use it on a non-magical weapon, is that a temporary application or a permanent?
Yes, it's a temporary application.
Okay. Real quick, before I put these in my backpack, is anybody interested in a vial of dragon's blood?
I mean, I'll carry some. You never know.
Not necessarily for carrying. I'm talking about if you were actually interested in consuming one, I would offer it to you. Otherwise, it was just going to go into my backpack for storage.
Oh, consuming one now?
I mean,
Just to sort of see what happens?
I don't know what your background is or what you were into. I'm just saying is that I'm not going to prevent you from partaking of whatever it is that you may or may not be into at this particular point in time.
Fair. Yeah, everyone should have we all are self-determined, get a choice about the things we're gonna do. I don't think I'm gonna drink dragon's blood today, but I will keep it as an option if you at some point in the future, if we need it, it might be worth trying.
All right. While I was digging through my backpack, I saw that I had 3 potions of climbing. Islarin, Awen, Ayla, I noticed y'all had the issues getting up the ridge line. Are you interested in these potions of climbing?
Can
I
see
might
that
be
that
later.
would be useful.
I will give one to Islarin. Ayla or Awen, are you interested in one of these?
Yeah, I would
Interested.
be.
Okay, I will pass one off to Islarin and Ayla as well. Ooh, red suit. I forgot that was.
Do you drop them off the cliff face, or how do you do this?
Oh, they haven't climbed up
He
there.
can toss it down and we can catch it.
No, I find a shadow, and then I will take my cloak of the fire bat, and I will
Okay.
use it to go down to the shadow right here, and then to pass them off thereafter.
Okay.
Got it.
Ooh, I like this cloak.
Slarn, are you climbing down?
Yep.
Miss Slarn falls.
No, I handed this Lauren the potion before I went down to both Awen and Ayla.
Yes, but she didn't drink it.
Yeah, but I didn't drink it because I was gonna save it for when we had more time pressure.
So you will suffer 5 falling damage and are prone at the bottom.
Oh dear.
I see
It's strange
Lauren
not to be able to move in 3 dimensions.
and I will cast the healing word of the day on Islarn of
Lauren raises an eyebrow.
you were moving this direction. I want to make sure that your travels were fruitful.
Okay.
Okay. So
All right. So what's the plan?
well, some of us aren't as healthy as we could be, so I'm going to cast the mass healing word and give
Okay.
us a little help.
Cool. Everyone is going to receive how much healing? 11. Excellent. So we'll give 11 hit points to Covet von Sin.
Can we see the tower from here? I'm assuming not.
Not
right?
from at the bottom of the ravine. No.
I'm gonna fly up and see if I can see the tower.
Or at least the lake.
Yeah.
How high do you want to fly up?
I've still have my boots of speed are still active, so I'm gonna go up 180 feet.
Okay. From 180 feet in the distance, you can see just the very edge on the horizon, a little shimmer that indicates that there's water there.
Okay, I'll fly back down, guys. Out in the distance on the horizon, I can see a little bit of a shimmer that says that there's some water there.
Got one job on this ship.
I guess we need to move in that direction.
I think so.
Toward the water we shall go.
Islarn, I don't know that it is salty if it's landlocked.
Who knows with this
It may or may
situation?
not be salty, but it is not land.
Probably would just be like to be in the water, I would imagine.
So we're going to go ahead and have you guys continue down the ravine.
Who's that in the distance?
That's technically Yurian's art. So just
Yeah.
going to ignore
We've
him.
already met him, remember?
I'm being mad.
Well, you're doing a good job.
Really?
So, as you guys head southwards, you'll see a couple of creatures here and there, small lizards, a couple of small mammals, rodents that hide in the shadows, but nothing major. Not all day. You keep going and going through the ravine. It'll take you all day to travel through this thing. There's no more dragons, no more threats, but it's boring, and the wind is blasting you as you are going along. It gets to be sunset. Are you ready to rest?
I mean, I could use a rest.
I could too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a good idea.
All right. Cool. So you're doing the Magnificent Mansion?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we can open up the Magnificent Mansion. Inside, it's nice and comfortable. What would you like to do during your rest? Sleep? Or is there something you would like to perform?
Go ahead.
I mean, I was actually going to ask Twilight if he would help me with that reposting.
Twilight gives a slight cringe that I don't know if it is noticeable to Kiki or not. And beings with the not quite false joy of the opportunity to perform in front of Kiki to show him the applications that was learned at the College of Swords.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get Kiki to try to practice once again.
Is it what do I roll?
This would just be an attack roll. So
Okay.
with a 23, you're better than your master today. Well done.
You are improving, Kiki. Evidently, that fight with the dragon is starting to sharpen your skill.
Yeah, I don't know. Ever since then, I've been feeling kind of shocked.
I'm
I
going to
appreciate
slip
the
down to
lesson,
the
though.
kitchen
Sure.
and talk with the cooks for a while.
Okay. The cooks are shapeless servants. They don't know anything that you don't tell them. What do you talk to them about?
That's going to be an
Recipes.
interesting conversation.
Okay. So you're going to give them recipes?
I'm going to read a recipe to them from the Sea Toad book, cookbook.
Ooh, okay. Cool. Let's go ahead and roll a survival check. All right. Unfortunately, you are completely out of what is it? Cat's tail? You're out of cat's tail and you're out of a certain kind of ground mustard. So you are
Oh,
unable
dear.
to fulfill the recipe.
Oh well. I tried.
Yep. All right. Cool. Anybody else want to do anything this evening?
GM, I sent you a note.
Oh, you can certainly try. It takes a long time to make an entire suit of leather, but you can certainly try.
But that still works with his unarmored defense?
No, because it's armor.
So I guess that's the point. That was like not necessarily a robe, but like a leather shirt or something that's not quite armor, but it would still have applications that would prevent the utilization of unarmored defense.
So you want armor that isn't armor.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, this leather hide will not function for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too heavy.
And it's a dragon's hide. All right.
Oh,
Cool.
so I'll observe the lesson being Twilight and Kiki, and then when it finishes up, I'll ask Twilight for a performance enhancement.
Of course. What kind of enhancements are you looking for?
One to steady my hand. I think I'm going to attempt once again to work with these gems.
Is that dexterity? Is that intelligence? What
Yep.
kinds of?
Dexterity.
Okay. And I will give Slarin performance enhancement of a cat with 4 temporary hit points.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. So what
Cool.
gems are we going to try to modify?
We're going to go with the Cornelian, Jasper, and Sardonyx, which I believe
Cool.
are all red gems.
Awesome.
Going to give myself guidance,
Sure.
and I'm going to attempt to fashion them into a bracelet.
Awesome. Cool. With a 22, you are able to fashion them into a bracelet that doubles the value of the gemstones.
Nice.
And when I'm finished with that, I'm gonna see if I can find Eowyn.
Probably not hard. Awen, what are you doing?
Maybe just hanging around in main areas. Can't think of anything else to do.
Okay. So you're able to find Awen.
Eowyn, may I speak with you for a moment?
I think about what?
Well,
Always cautious.
as we passed through the lava fields, we came across a number of gems, and among my people, they carry significant meaning. They can be said to, some of them are said to protect the spirit. Some are said to bolster the positive qualities in a person. So I wanted to offer you this bracelet that I made out of these gems in the hope that it will bolster it will allow your courage and your inner strength to shine.
Oh, uh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Well, over the bracelet, which I will put its information in the chat.
Okay.
You
All right.
can don't want to say enjoying the journey, but is it taking too much of a toll?
Uh, well, you guys make it tolerable at least.
Barn cracks a wry smile. That I'm glad of. No, we do not speak as often, but I appreciate what you bring to the group, and of course, I still have not forgotten that time that you brought light to all of those Mephits at once.
I'm still seeing spots from that.
So I
Well,
wanted to ensure that you were aware of my appreciation for you, and that that you would know that I will do my best to keep you safe.
well, thank you. I'll try my best to keep you guys safe too.
That Islaran will nod.
Cool.
How have you been though?
How have
Oh.
you been?
I'm adapting, I suppose. The right way to say it. Of course, it has been a long journey, and I am quite far from home, but it matters that we are doing something important. It is something I intend to see through.
Well, if you ever need a break from it or feel it's too much, I'm always available to talk.
Of course, and I as well. If you ever need anything. Particularly if you ever need a sparring partner or just want to strike at something, I can be I can withstand quite a lot.
You offering yourself as a meat shield or something?
No, more as a sparring partner. I suppose I phrased that inelegantly.
It's okay.
Cool. All right. So, Twilight, you want to practice your Elvish with Ayla?
I do.
Okay. Ayla, can you teach Twilight's Call today? What's he going to try to learn?
Well, I have a simple story that most Elvish children have heard. I'm assuming he's heard it also, but it would be neat if he could read it out loud. So we're going to
What's the
let him
story
try
about?
that.
Twilight, what's the story about? Because we want to find out if he can read the story.
Okay, so that's an intelligence check.
Yes. With a 19? What's the story about, Twilight?
It's about the communal relationship with taking care of that which was around. That family is not just by blood, but by the culture and the experience of those around us.
Interesting.
This is a
Sounds very dry.
children's book.
Absolutely. The cultural relativism that is being imparted at a young age.
So it's Bernstein Bears. Got it.
Absolutely. But that is success number 7.
Congratulations. You have learned to speak and read Elvish.
Woohoo!
Now you can understand your parents. Which you may or may not want to, depending on the situation, but you know.
Elvish has now been applied.
Awesome. Cool. So, otherwise, you guys settled down for the evening. Twilight, you're going to spend 8 hours working on the bracers?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So, I need you to go ahead and roll your sleight of hand check. Or leatherworking. You have
Yes.
it.
I'll do guidance for that one as well.
Of course. And the DC for this is going to be an 18.
Oh, dear God.
Unfortunately, you have failed by more than 5.
My inspiration for that one.
You're going to use your inspiration on that one?
I absolutely am.
Because you don't want your bracers destroyed?
Exactly.
Got it. Very well. We will give your bracers lightning resistance.
Alright, awesome.
Give me a
That would
couple
have been
moments to get them ready. Alright. Cool.
That would be very bad.
Okay. Alright. So,
And that
guys,
consumes all the hide that I had.
it consumes enough of it that it makes it you're not going to be able to fulfill another suit of armor.
Yep. Okay. I will remove it from my inventory then.
Okay. Cool. And I'm just adding this item. So, as you guys go ahead and take your long rest, you guys can wake up in the morning refreshed, rejuvenated, and ready to face the dangers of Toivoa. You ready to leave?
I have excuse me. I have chicken and waffles this morning.
Nice. That's becoming a staple.
Well, I usually do chicken and biscuits, but I thought I'd be different and do chicken and waffles this morning. And there's some fresh maple syrup here if you're interested, or honey.
Ooh. And we're back up to 3 charges on the mansion.
Yay.
Excellent.
Nice.
Cool. As you guys have your breakfast, you're full, you got energy because of carbs and protein, and you're ready to go out to face the day. Unless there's something else you wanted to do. And go ahead and add the Bronze Dragonhide Bracers of Archery to your character sheet. Twilight's Call.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right. So, as you leave, you're able to go back out into the ravine. So, traveling southwards, you travel all day. But up ahead, you see some trees. And you can clearly see a lake up ahead with some boats on it. Are there any preparations you'd like to make before approaching the edge of the lake?
Uh, do
I
we?
wonder if
Can we do a perception check to see if there's anything like we see boats out there,
Sure.
but
Absolutely. Cool. The sun's shining at the wrong angle for Kiki and his Lauren.
hey, it's Lauren. Do you see anything?
What about Eowyn? Did Eowyn want to roll? And Covet's rolling her perception check. So, Eowyn, Twilight's Call, and Ayla. Each of you sees on the water's surface a variety of rafts that have tents built on them. They're small boats that travel between them, and there are lights, many lights. It looks like this.
I wonder if there's anybody here that can carry us to the island, to the tower.
From what I understand, we might be better asking if there's anyone here who is even willing to carry us out there.
How would you like to proceed?
I'm listening, but because of a quick fill-in job.
Quick fill-in job. You took a long rest in your in the magnificent mansion, and have made your way after another 4 hours of traveling the next day to where you can see the lake up ahead of you. You've not approached the edge, but rather can see it in the distance. Your party was just about to decide if they wanted to make any preparations before approaching, and were considering the possibility of asking for assistance.
Okay, before we go forward, remember here we do not talk about longstriders. We do not talk about anything like that. These guys don't like longstriders, remember? Just a reminder.
Yeah. I'm just kind of concerned about if we take somebody out there with us and the waves start kicking up really bad because we've been told to watch out for anything elemental, if we would be responsible for getting someone killed.
We can grant them some measure of protection at the very least. I can cast Water Walk upon up to 10 at a time, including ourselves. Although it only lasts for an hour, so you would need to be expedient about it.
How far
Can we
across is
borrow
this?
one of the boats?
What was the question about the boats?
Could we borrow one of the boats?
I'm certain they could be for rent.
Or maybe we could just buy one.
Also a good idea.
Gold would speak well, I think.
Roll a history check, please, Ayla.
I wonder if I could perform as a service, and then they provide us the courtesy of utilizing a boat.
Ayla, you'll recall that none of the tribes here in Australia have dealt with gold in any way. Everything they've done has been barter.
Right. So we'd have to have something to trade. Maybe a dragon claw.
I have a young bronze dragon white claw that they might be interested, but I'm not sure how they would feel about alcoholic drink.
That just
Someone's confused.
for Covet's benefit.
I mean, seriously, I had to run away for an emergency. Oh my gosh. Okay, I missed all the good stuff.
White claw's not a real drink.
Yeah, that I totally agree. That's not a real drink. That's a fake drink.
The dragon claw that I have turned white when I harvested it, so it's a white claw.
I don't even know if I want to dignify that. Oh my god.
Let's face it, White Claw is the LaCroix of alcohol.
Yeah.
For those of you who like LaCroix, you are wrong.
Or the PBR of beer.
Also, LaCroix being pronounced that way makes no sense. Either the X should be pronounced like it would be if it were an English word, or the I should be a wa, sound like it's a French word. You can't mix it up like that. It just doesn't.
Facts. I totally agree. It's very confusing. And I'm over here where they speak German.
LaCroix.
I would
Is that what
respect
we're
that
going with?
pronunciation. I would respect that.
LaCroix? Okay.
I mean, okay, so in Spanish, what is ambulance? What is it?
From what I know of Cuban Spanish, because they don't have ambulances down there, but my grandfather always called it the Wawa.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, what isn't it? I mean, even in English, ambulance, you know what it is.
Ambulancia.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, here it's Krankenwagen.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Wagon for the tracking.
Krankenwagen.
We don't need one of those right now. We need to get across the river or the lake to the tower to free the spirit and to grab a shard and to deal with the very foul winds.
And puzzle down at the bottom of the tower.
And evidently it's blue because if it was green, it would die. I'll be here all week.
We seek someone out who might be able to assist us among those who are apparently residing upon the lake.
Yeah,
Like a group.
I think we need to.
There's two things that we don't mention. We do not mention. We don't mention the consortium, and we don't mention my patron. Period.
I was not going to mention your patron, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's bad. So
I agree. Your patron. Never mind.
Bad juju.
So nothing? No. So I'm just saying we need to take our pins that we are all wearing rather prominently and hide them.
You didn't put that in your backpack already?
I guess I did in the mansion
Okay.
that one time.
I'll put my pen in my backpack.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do I.
Cool. Easy enough. Awesome. So, do you want to go down towards the river's edge? Or the lake's edge?
If we're going to talk to somebody, we're going to have to go down there. So let's go.
As you approach the water's edge, you don't see anyone immediately.
Where is everybody? I don't see anybody here.
How do you knock on the door of a tent?
Like this.
How did you get out to the tent?
God.
I walk?
On the water?
On the water?
There's nothing
I-
connected to the shore?
Nothing connected to the shore.
Um,
Swim out
Kiki's
there.
going to try flying out among the tents. I'm not going to knock on any tents, but I am going to fly out to just see if I
Okay.
can see anyone inside the tent or anyone moving around.
You can see that the various rafts are bobbing with some motion. There are people inside the tents.
I guess they all go inside at night.
But do they wear sunglasses?
My theme song, for the record.
I wear my sunglasses at night.
Such an optimistic song.
Oh.
Just saying.
Better than the Stalker song.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be watching.
All right. So, what's the plan?
Real quick, GM, do you have Urgel's sheet?
It's just a raven, but yeah.
Just a...
I dare you to call Urgel just a raven.
Oh God, he'd be insulted beyond what he is.
I'm going to ask the group if they want me
But
to try to go inside any of these tents if we're like, or if we're going to head out there. Like,
You go see if you can find somebody.
all right, I'll fly to the tent that's closest that looks like it's got somebody in there,
Okay.
and stick my beak in.
You stick your beak in. Okay. You smell food. Rice with a little
Hey,
bit of
guys.
soy, a little bit of sesame.
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
yummy.
Hey, and that food smells good. How you doing? I'm Kiki, and I will try to introduce myself if I see anyone in there.
Okay. The person who's in there turns and looks at you wearing a red robe that has a blue wrap around it. Hello.
Well, hello.
You are strange. I do not recognize you. I have not
You mean
seen
I'm a
birds who
stranger,
spoke.
or I'm strange?
Well, you are strange for a mall that speaks. I've not seen one before.
Good point. Not a mall, but I see I see the connection. I see the connection. I'm here with some friends. We need to get out on the lake. We were wondering if maybe we could trade you for one of your boats.
You have friends? Odd. Mall with friends. Wonders never cease. Come aboard. Come within and let us speak.
All right. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. I'll shout over to the group as I go inside the tent.
Oh, tell them to come with you, of course. We would not want them
Oh,
to
hey
remain on
guys,
shore for long.
you should come too.
After all, the shore is dangerous.
I can
Uh-oh.
cast water walk on everybody if you don't have it.
You definitely should come over because they're saying that the shore is dangerous.
If you'll allow me to,
Water walk.
I get it for free once a day.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay,
All right,
we
so you
got to, of
guys
course.
can go and visit her.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
You may call me
are-
Twilight. Who are you?
I am Googie. Googie of the Still Waters.
Did we meet? No, we met Rushing Wind, and we met the Coarse Sands group, but we hadn't met Still Waters.
Correct. You also met the Flaming Arch.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Tiki, is that different than your Rushing Waters?
I'm Serene Waters, actually. So you're Still Waters. Yeah. So I wonder if we're related through, water.
She looks at you completely impassively and unimpressed with your joke.
Well, I'm not really the best at jokes, but I study in a monastery called the Monastery of the Serene Waters. Have
What
you
is a
heard of
monastery?
it, Master Ope?
I have not. What is a monastery?
Oh, and it's a place where we study. We study we study being a monk, and how to use the power of our ki to make our way in the world.
I understood several of the words that you have spoken, but not all. What is a monk? What is ki?
Yeah, this could take a while. I don't know that you'd find it all that interesting. Monks are people who kind of study like students. If you think of students, do you have students here?
We have students, yes, of course. One must learn from another.
Yes. So monks live together in a monastery where they all learn from each other.
So a monastery is a school tent.
It's sort of like a school tent. Yeah.
I understand. She turns to a more interesting topic. Have you brought food?
Oh, Ayla?
5 heads turn toward Ayla.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, I can make some food.
I can provide a bead of refreshment.
What is a bead of refreshment?
It's this bead. It's refreshing.
You repeat words without explaining.
Don't worry,
he does
you
that.
get used to it.
It is a spongy, flavorless, gelatinous bead that dissolves in liquid, transforming up to a pint of liquid into fresh, cold drinking water. The bead has no effect on magical liquids or harmful substances such as poison.
So it is worthless, as we have an entire lake of fresh, clean water.
Pretty much.
It's a beautiful lake, I'm just saying.
It is. We are fortunate to be allowed to live here.
Have you lived here all your life?
Of course. One does not tread upon the ground.
What
You
makes
said it's
the
dangerous. Why
ground
is
so
it dangerous
dangerous?
on the shore?
The burrowers. They are numerous, especially in this part of Australia. It is said that should you tread upon the ground, you will be consumed and dragged under and drowned in the sands of the shore.
If
Travel
we look, do
on
we
mine.
see?
What was the question?
I'm just wondering if we see any like holes or anything like that on the shore. Like, do we see a place where burrows have recently been dug?
If you think back to where you came across the shore, no. But there were also no shells. There were no skeletons. There were no branches. There was no debris on the entire shoreline. There were no rocks. It was a perfectly sandy beach.
Oh, interesting.
So they essentially drag everything under.
If you recall, when you
That
met with Jatikam, he told you that
Mhm.
he would protect you from the burrowers.
Yeah.
Thus, you have just skipped a major encounter on the beaches of this lake and have not had to deal with the things that were going to drag you under the sands.
Which Twilight is completely oblivious of.
Of course. Because, for no other reason than it's Twilight.
Absolutely.
So tell me of your home. How did your people come to be here?
We rode here.
Have your people always lived on the waters?
On the waters, of course. Do you not live upon waters?
Not usually, no. I travel by them though.
You yet are companions with one of the guardians.
That is true. That is a question that, well, you might want to ask us, Lauren.
Who is Islarin?
Our friend here, who's the guardian of the guardians. She is of the saltwater variety.
Salt water. I do not understand. Water that is salty?
Yes.
Yes.
is where I come from, the vast oceans, they carry salt into them. It is what I am most used to.
You will pardon me, but that is distasteful. Why would one live in such horrible place when you could live in a clean, fresh water where one can swim and drink?
If one can swim and drink the salt, it becomes an idyllic place. One with wonders that those who have never experienced life beneath the sea could not even imagine. It is the home.
Range. You must live with great monsters.
We are we are the ones who ensure that great monsters never see land.
Interesting. So you have kaiju in the salt water.
I'm not familiar with that term. It is a
Great
kaiju.
monsters. It is a beast or entity that rises from the sea to roam the lands. You say you prevent great monsters from rising. Are they not monstrous, larger than dragons?
There are I've heard tales of immense monsters that were repelled by brave warriors. I have sought to become one who would be capable of defending my home and world beyond it of against such monsters, particularly those that come from worlds that are not our own.
Indeed. There are kaiju in this lake.
How do you deal with the kaiju?
We let them be. We do not tempt them. We do not fish too deep. We do not disturb them. We are quiet upon the lake, lest we awaken one and it tear our boats asunder.
We seek not to perturb the kaiju then? What sorts of things tempt them such that avoid doing so?
Noises, loud noises, such as laughter or crying. Thus, we do none of these anywhere in the depths. Only in the shallows will we.
What about music or dancing?
What is music?
I am glad you asked. And I will pull out my uh, my flute.
Okay.
My pipe flute, and I will present it.
You have a reed.
But when I apply air to the reed, it provides musical notes on the wind that is pleasing to the ear.
I would be cautious with such what. I would be cautious with such things, as the noise that you produce could wake one.
Oh, but this isn't noise. These are melodies that float on the air that is pleasing to the ear.
She looks at you completely impassively. She is as hard to read as the best poker player.
Would you like to hear it?
She looks at you almost with disapproval, but she's not going to tell you one way or the other. She will say, however,
It's only on him. It's only on him.
right, that's nice. However, you can no longer hear her, and she looks very troubled. Because it's a 20-foot sphere.
Well, I put it farther out, so it only has him in it.
The whole tent is a 20-foot tent. If you're inside the tent, the whole tent is silenced.
He is casting silence again.
Yep.
Oh,
Twilight, do you play your flute in the silence?
Of course, because everybody must hear the sound of silence.
Oh my god.
Hello, my old friend.
Hilarious.
by disturbed, I guess.
Oh, so good. All right. So, she looks at you. She starts signing, but you don't understand her sign language.
When he is done, I drop silence.
Okay. You are shamans.
Of a sort, some of us are.
Yes.
Wayfinders.
Absolutely.
Of course.
We have removed fear from the mountain.
I hate fear.
At the mention of you have removed fear from the mountain, she raises her eyebrows and is impressed. You have trod upon the mountain and removed fear. You are wayfinders. You are welcome.
I bow in return.
We
Thank you.
seek to continue our way, but our way takes us across the lake to the large tower.
She looks at you. That you are wayfinders and fools.
It's where the path leads.
But there are no paths upon the water.
There are streams.
The streams are no longer what they once were. They now twist and turn about, capable of shearing it in two.
Shilone has been imprisoned, has she not?
She looks impressed at the fact that foreigners would know this. She has.
And the only way for balance to return to the flows is for her to be freed, correct?
I suppose that is true.
Our way is forward to the tower to free her.
Fine. If you so desired death, so be it. We have boats that we will trade. What do wayfinders from afar bring to the still waters as trade?
I bring a young bronze dragon white claw.
She looks at you. You have slain a dragon.
Of course.
Yes.
More than
And
one.
what would we do with the claw of a dragon?
I am told that alchemists may be able to use it, as well as blacksmiths or even leather workers. It is up to the imagination once the resource is provided.
He looks at you impassively. Imagination? What is that?
The ability to conceive that which does not exist currently.
So foolishness.
No, it's more like planning something out in your mind before you actually do it. Like you want to build a shield. You think about how you want to build it before you actually build it. That's imagination.
Strange. Why would one not simply build?
The idea must be there first.
Interesting. Let us see this dragon's claw.
And present it.
She looks at it. I am uninspired by this thing.
How big is it? Just out of curiosity.
50 feet long.
It's not 50 feet long. No,
It's
it's
50
4 feet long.
pounds.
It's 50 pounds, 4 feet long.
Sorts of things inspire you.
Textiles. Weavings.
What about hemp woven together to produce a coil?
What is hemp?
It is a grass from the ground.
Strange. You would bring textile from the ground.
To be used as a rope that can bind, that can secure, that can lift, support, or otherwise draw, depending on how you desire to use it. And I will display the rope.
She holds out her hand to touch it. Do you let her?
I do let her touch it.
It is coarse. It is rough. This would hurt the hands. You use this from the ground. No wonder it is so primal.
But it has many uses.
We have rope. We make it from the weeds at the bottom of the lake. I do not wish for this rough rope.
So be it. And I'll put it back in my bag.
Although I do not possess very much in the way of textiles or weaved goods that I could offer, do you, all of the still waters, hold an appreciation for gems?
We do.
Like, could fashion something for you.
Let us see.
Uh,
What do you have?
I'll ask Covet for one of the. I'm entirely sure how it's pronounced, but chrysoprase.
Okay.
Yes. I pull out one and from my pack and scooching around Urgle because he knows not to come out and pull it out and hand it to Islarin.
Yeah, Urgel's sitting in the bottom of the bag and like hands it to you with his claw. He's trying to be helpful.
I smile and wink and then close the bag.
All right. So she looks at the gemstone. This is most beautiful. I will trade you a boat for this.
Um, if you wish, I could fashion this into a ring, a necklace, an earring, whatever it is that perhaps may suit your tastes.
We choose not to hold things against our wrists or necks, as they get caught on the weeds. The
What
anklets
about
also are not.
a hairpin?
Hairpins also get tangled easily. We choose rather to pierce our navels.
Oh, that's cool. I've always wanted to do that.
Can you make a piercing? A stud,
I
perhaps.
Place it on
would be
a post.
I would be honored to do so.
Okay. Cool. So
Perhaps
let's go ahead.
to learn the technique of. I've never seen a navel piercing before.
Okay. So she is going to look away from Twilight and away from Kiki. And she will slide the kimono off to where you can see her navel, and she is topless underneath. But she has multiple piercings around her navel. It's almost like a decorative ring.
I will take a look and I'll find a point that looks like where a splash of green would kind of um, be most artistic.
Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get your jewelry crafting done. Your sleight of hand if you don't have it already.
I'll use guidance on myself.
Okay. And you're able to craft a very nice little piercing that will fit in there perfectly. She removes one of the lesser ones and offers it to you.
I will bow my head and accept it graciously.
She asks, would you do the guardians adorn themselves in this manner?
I believe it is important to carry with us the experiences and knowledge of as many people as possible. So if they do not yet, then they will now.
Very well. She reaches over into a small little box that's attached to the boat, and she opens it and pulls out a long fish tooth that is curved and sharpened very fine. It looks like a needle. Are you willing?
Yep.
She will come over. I've never pierced a guardian before. And she looks at you and, without breaking eye contact, pierces your navel. You don't feel a thing. This thing goes right through the skin and leaves a perfect hole. She holds her hand up for the piercing.
Hand it to her.
She puts the little pearl piercing into your belly button. So you now have a navel piercing of a pearl set in silver.
Cool.
That's beautiful. I love the way that looks on you.
Concur, it is a wonderful gem. And
She then kisses it.
now, Soren does not react particularly to that.
Yep. She leans back.
But she'll
It is pretty on you.
thank you. Now you will carry with us. You will carry with you gem that represents the salt water, and I will carry with me a gem that represents the fresh.
Miss Lauren is
Thank you.
only polite if you kiss the one that you gave her in return.
Considered customary?
Only with the fresh piercing. She smiles. For the first time, she smiles. And with a passive insight, she's lying. She just wanted to kiss your belly button.
I'll just nod. Art is
You're
clearly
both.
not accustomed to this type of attention.
Of course not. Your boat, it is outside. It is the one with the red ribbons. You may take it. And no one will hunt you.
That's a good thing.
Do you have anything else that you'd be interested in trading? I have a vial of acid. I'm not sure if you'd be interested in that or not.
I would be interested in acid. It is difficult to acquire, save from the certain fish.
Well, I have one vial here that I'd be willing to part with. What would you offer in return?
I have pearls. I have spears. I have shining stones that have been gathered from the bottom. I have skeletons of great animals. I even have the toenail clipping of a kaiju.
Would you be willing to trade this vial of acid for a toenail clipping of a kaiju?
She looks at you. No. However, I will trade you fish for acid. Are you willing to accept the trade, Twilight?
Yeah, I'll do fish for one vial of acid.
Okay. She will provide you a stringer of catfish. There's a good 20 pounds of catfish.
I hear catfish is of good eating. Do we have means of cooking and preparing it tonight?
If you choose to, you may reside here. We have milk of the sea cow. Yeah, it's manatee milk. Because you got to soak catfish in milk, otherwise it tastes like mud.
Absolutely. I will hand the stringer of catfish to Ayla so that she and Covet, utilizing recipes that are in their various books, augmented by milk of the sea cow, may prepare a feast that will be amazing this evening. You have enjoyed cooking along these adventures. Don't get all bent out of shape.
The woman before you looks concerned at the situation. You allow him to tell you to cook for him?
No, he knows better. And she gives him the evil eye.
Would you rather me hang on to this stringer while we go about our travels and let
You
it
know, you could at least say please.
please?
Best wife ever.
Of course.
I want to hear those words.
Best life ever.
That's right.
Do you want the stringer?
Just because I'm hungry.
Here you go.
Asshole.
You know it.
And for the record, these are real conversations.
It's fine. So, she looks at you and him fighting. Ah, healthy relationship and banter. I have sent my husband to the depths.
Say that again.
I have sent my husband to the depths.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
when you say send him to the depths, what does that mean? Because that could be me. Because we are not of this culture, that could mean a whole bunch of different things.
He is harvesting on the bottom.
Sorry.
Okay, see? Yep. No. And what is he harvesting?
Whatever he may find. Likely some sea plants. Perhaps a urchin or two. Hopefully he finds a couple of clams or mussels.
That's good eating.
Should he find a freshwater oyster, there is a chance for pearls, such as the one that now adorns Islaren. And you get the impression she had a hard time getting your name out, just because she's never called a guardian by their first name before. So, make yourselves at home in the tent. What are those on your feet?
Our shoes?
I was gonna
Shoes.
say.
Please remove them, for I do not wish to damage the boat. For Kiki gets crow's feet. Just means that Kiki likes to smile. Very well. And she will start...
May I ask,
Yeah?
are the waters in the immediate area safe to swim in without disturbing any kaiju or being swept away?
We are in the shallows. As long as you are a fair swimmer, you will not be swept away. But in the depths, where the boat could not stand on end, that is where it becomes dangerous.
We'll keep to the shallows for the time being then.
Okay. Enjoy your swim. Okay. Are you going to go swimming?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. As you jump
Like
over the
it's
side.
not. I was gonna say it's not like total like kid gets to the pool and like does a cannonball, but like you can tell she is very eager to get into the water.
So it's a swimmer's dive, or is it a ease yourself in, or how are we getting in the water?
Uh, I think we'll go swimmer's dive.
Okay, swimmer's dive. Awesome. So as you dive into the water, you glide into the water. As you open your eyes under the surface of the water, you can see that there are plants in very neat rows all across the bottom. There are large clams and all sorts of crustaceans crawling across. It's an entire ecosystem down here. You see several people walking along the bottom with stones on their belts. Each of the stones has a long rope next to it. These people are being weighted down so that they can basically walk on the bottom. These are farmers. As you're swimming, you look down and you see someone who's dressed very similar to Googie and can tell that it's her husband. He's a very large, swarthy man, glistening in the underwater. Even you have to appreciate that musculature. He's currently prying open a good 3 foot wide clam and to check it. He reaches his hand into there, and you know that this is super dangerous. Should he touch the wrong part of this clam, it will snap shut on his arm. He reaches inside and checks around before withdrawing his hand, having not found a pearl, and he allows the clam to close. As he removes his fingers at the last moment, there's a loud snap. That clam is very strong, but Googie's husband is stronger.
I watch from a distance and I nod appreciatively as I see this.
The other people are doing their thing. After about 5 minutes of you swimming around, unnoticed because they don't really care about you swimming up there, you'll see one of them release the stones and come to the surface just for a gasp of air before pulling on the ropes to bring themselves back to the bottom. This repeats multiple times as these people are very aquatic, but they do not have the capability of breathing underwater. They're just capable of holding their breath for a very long time. There are men and women both down here working on harvesting the sea plants, checking the clams and other cephalopods, or I'm using the wrong word, other clam-like creatures, mussels, etc., for meat and for pearls, anything of value. There are 2 people that are currently working on disassembling one of the clams from the rock. You don't know why, but it is an enormous one, a good 3 feet in diameter. Anything you'd like to do with Slarin?
Right? Uh, yeah, I think I'll approach and,
Okay.
and I'll
They
ask.
look at you and they bow to you.
I bow in return. I'll ask through the water, is there anything I might assist you with?
They look at each other wide-eyed and point to the surface. And they will release their stones, and the cords extend as they go up to the surface.
I'll swim up there as well. Of course, they can't talk underwater.
They get up to the surface. They breathe in as they tread water there with just their legs. They don't use their hands, so they can actually gesticulate with their hands. We are seeking to dislodge the clam, as we wish to use it for a cooking utensil and a fire pit.
Is it wedged in tightly, at awkward angle?
It is attached to a large stone that we cannot lift.
See. Would seeking to remove the stone as a whole, or just chisel it free?
We seek to chisel it free.
Okay. There is any way I can assist, perhaps either in holding it steady or adding leverage. I would be happy to do so.
Perhaps together we can pry it free. And they will go
Sure.
underwater. They pull their ropes so that they are dragged to the bottom. And they do these fancy knots that are easy release. And they will set up around the clam. The two guys forming a triangle with you.
Cast guidance on myself.
Okay. As you cast a spell underwater, their eyes widen at the fact that a guardian is casting magic underwater. This is something that they don't see. And then you're going to try to lift. Roll your athletics check, please. You pry the clam free by yourself. As it pops free, Muscly, Islarin, the two guys who are very large and swarthy, look at you, and their mouths open and bubbles go up. What do you do with the clam, Islarin?
I hand it to them.
You hand it to them?
Yeah. And I'll explain. My grandfather taught me quite a lot.
They nod and go about tying it in a very fancy knot in order to lift it up out of the water later. Meanwhile, while the Islarin is helping the farmers and clam miners do their thing, what is Kiki and Eowyn and Ayla, Covet, and Twilight doing? What are the five of you doing up on the boat still? Kiki, what are you doing?
Go for it, Kiki.
I mean, I think we'd probably just be chatting, finding out more about the history of the Stillwater people. Yeah, I mean, I think Kiki's been enjoying sort of listening to the conversation, finding out where they came from. Also, Kiki wanted to ask about navigation and staying in the shallows. Like, if we navigate along the shore to the other side, like when we're going where we're going, can we stay away from where the monsters are?
If you stay in the shallows, the kaiju cannot rise. As far as how long the still waters have been here, we have been here, at least in my time, for 6 risings.
I'm sorry, but how long is it rising?
Thank you.
A rising is an event. It happens many days apart. We do not know when they will happen. But when the kaiju rise, we mark it as time.
How long has it been since your last rising?
Many days.
Are you due for another rising?
We do not know.
Is the rising a joyful or a fearful experience?
It is a terrifying experience. Calamity befalls the boats when the kaiju rise.
She pinches his butt to make him shut up.
Are there multiple people involved in a rising?
Yes. All people on the lake are affected by the rising.
She covers his mouth with her hand to make him stop. So, is there a particular way that you prefer these catfish to be made? Because, I mean, I know the way that I make them, but how do you and your people make this yummy catfish?
We normally soak it in the milk of the sea cow, and then we use the fat of the sea cow to fry it.
May taste a little different from the way we do it, but from our ingredients, but it sounds pretty similar to what we do.
How would you do so?
Well, we wouldn't be using the milk of the sea cow. We'd be using the milk of a cow,
What is a cow?
a land animal.
Very well.
And
What does it look like?
It has 4 legs, and 1 head. Can be all one color or can have patches of color, usually brown, black, or white. It says moo, and we use them to get milk from, to drink or to cook with.
So it is like a water buffalo.
Sorta, yeah, just a little smaller.
Ah. So more tender. Understood. All right. So she's going to set up a large shell, and she will start a fire in the shell. The wood that she's using is wood of sea plants that has been dried in the air.
Right, Miss Ayla.
You know what goes real well with the preparing of a meal? Joyous song.
Please don't summon a kaiju.
Twilight, what are you doing? Are you going to play a song? In spite of what the player wants to do, would Twilight's Call play a song?
Twilight would most definitely play a song, especially after his Sound of Silence went so well.
Okay. Cool. So, you going to go ahead and perform? With a 25, for just a moment, she doesn't realize you're playing music. And then she turns and looks at you aghast. And she's going to go to slap the thing into the water. Does a 16 hit your AC?
Does not. But
You're
Twilight is shocked at the attempt and is stopped playing and trying to figure out what's going on. Because normally he doesn't have such an adverse reaction to the wonderful melodies that he produces.
That was pretty, but it was loud. Do not wish to summon a rising. The kaiju, they must remain silent and sleeping.
But I thought you said the rising was a communal event with multiple people involved.
It's not an orgy.
The rising is a calamity. The kaiju rise and all boats are tipped over. Of course it affects everyone. Did you think that this was a sexual behavior?
I thought it was a community activity.
Not
No.
that kind of commune.
But the couples do celebrate once the rising has ended.
Yeah, but not to cause it.
No, we celebrate the ending of it.
So everybody has a happy ending.
She looks at you. You are a most patient person to have married this man.
Don't I know it?
If you choose to, I will trade you, and I will learn great patience from him.
As tempting as that offer is, I must decline at this time. Thank you.
Ah, so you believe there is more patience to be gained.
Unfortunately.
We bring such joy to each other's lives.
As she looks at Covet, you see Covet's eye begin to twitch just a little bit.
She looks at Twilight. And what skill are you learning from her?
Unconditional love.
All right. What's Eowyn doing while they're having this discussion as Twilight admits that he is learning about unconditional love? Someone's in trouble. What's Eowyn doing?
Being very antisocial from everybody else.
Being very antisocial, sitting in the corner?
Mainly just sitting outside next to the tent.
Okay. Sitting outside next to the tent. Eowyn, there's an itch. All these boats could burn so easily.
Don't tempt me.
It's there,
It's called
but you can
personal
resist
growth.
it.
The tents can burn too.
The tent could burn too. Would Eowyn take her finger or his finger and etch his name with fire into the side of the boat? Is that something Eowyn would do?
It's something I would do, but not my character.
Not the character. Okay. Cool. As the character practices self-control, Ayla and Covet and Twilight are cooking. Kiki is talking. And you guys can have a wonderful evening here with Googie and have some wonderful catfish. Islaren, as you go through, you're able to harvest a variety of vegetables and meats from the sea floor to bring up for the people. They will be very appreciative for the fact that a guardian has humbled herself to work among the regular people. They're shocked at the experience that you are participating with them.
Lauren, I feel a little bit confused at all the deference, but not ultimately questioning it too much, just assuming it's a cultural thing.
Are there more guardians in this area?
You do not see any other Tritons in the area. But as you continue, eventually they will call it a day as the sun gets low, the water begins to get dark, and you see in the distance little points of light in the water. Once those appear, everyone gets up out of the water as quickly as they can.
What are those dots of light?
You're not underwater.
Oh, I thought it was above water. Sorry.
Nope, under the water. Does Islarin ask? Or
I'll ask.
do you guys talk about it? Because if they talk about it when they come up, you can be involved in the conversation coming.
I'll definitely ask when first see them.
The large squids, they come and they ravage the lands, the sea bottoms. They pull things under. Do not sleep near the edge of your boat tonight.
How close do they come?
They will be here in a few minutes.
Are these the same or different from the kaiju that have been spoken of?
Oh, much smaller, much smaller. They smile and laugh. These are not of great concern. They are more of an inconvenience. They will harvest several of
Understood.
our clams and some of the plants, but they will be gone in the morning. They only arrive in dark.
Understood. So they are no threat to. They are no threat of loss of life unless one is not prudent.
Correct. And they have a bioluminescence that we use for lights. We slay them occasionally. It's a rite of passage for a man or a woman to kill one.
While I have, while I do miss seeing the bioluminescence of my home, I suppose I do not wish to be pulled under by one of these creatures.
Of course not. Very well. We will sup tonight and drink of the wine. And they will start pouring out beverages into large clamshells and conchs and serve you guys a delicious dinner that you've cooked with them, along with the vegetables that they've provided.
Soren will definitely relay the information to everyone else about what's going on.
Cool.
So do we remove one? Do we prevent them from taking anything? Or do we just let them be?
My impression is that it is typical to simply let them be.
All right. Well, I think that that's about as good of a ending as we can have tonight, as you have a feast with the people of the Still Waters and have learned a lot about the environment that we are going to be going into. I hope that you guys are enjoying the lore and exploring what all is going on. You've learned a lot going forward as to where the adventure is headed, and we will pick up next week with the Us Against the Gods campaign.